My name is Tamara Alvarado. I'm the Director of Community Access and Engagement at the School of Arts and Culture at the Mexican Heritage Plaza.
And what's your relationship to the Castellano Family Foundation?
Well, my relationship goes back a few years from when I was Executive Director at MACLA. And that's actually when I met them, and they were helping out with a number of things there, actually prior to my time, and then helped develop and build the Castellano Playhouse that's there now. And then moving on, just seeing them support everything in terms of arts and education, in particular with ACE Charter School. So I also chair the board of ACE Charter School. So my relationship with them encompasses arts, culture, education, and just kind of seeing them as leaders about what do we as a community prioritize. Obviously, we can make decisions on our own and prioritize for ourselves, but it's important to have people who kind of set the course for us in our community of saying, this is important. So we're going to invest in this, and it helps inspire others, like myself, also invest money and time. Through the School of Arts and Culture, although it's young, we're only a year and change old. Al in particular has been really involved with the Mexican Heritage Plaza Steering Committee.
Connie Martinez, and I'm the Executive Director of First Act Silicon Valley.
And what's your relationship to the Castellanos?
Well, I've actually known the Castellanos for approximately maybe 15 years. And it started, Carmen and I were on the board of Los Lopeños together. And a mutual dear friend, Martha Cantor, brought us together. And we served on the Los Lopeños board for probably about 3 or 4 years together.
My name is Angie Helstrup Alvarez, and I'm the Executive Director of MACLA, and I've had the great privilege of knowing the Castellano family since the mid-90s. I remember I was an intern at the time, and Al came to us, and he was working on a project for the GI Forum for Cinco de Mayo, and had this great idea of putting together one of his art exhibitions. And he said, I have this wild idea, will MACLA help me organize an exhibition for the GI Forum? And so we did, actually, and it was a lot of fun. We borrowed folk art from many family and friends' personal collections and sat up all night creating wall labels for him and built walls and rented a U-Haul and put together this exhibition. So that was one of my first memories of meeting the Castellano family. I also remember them as a MACLA early supporter, and at that point they were giving us $50 a year annually. And it's way before they won the lottery, and it was something that they had done consistently every single year. And so when a lot of people talk about them and know them as philanthropists after they won the lottery, but I really knew them before that. And I think they're just a great testament how everyday people can support important causes in our community and do what they believe in and do their part.
I'm Herman Gallegos. I'm a friend of the Castellano family. I can't believe that it's been about 11 years that Al and Carmen visited me in San Francisco to talk about their dream for setting up this family foundation. Now here it is about 10, 11 years later, and they're already shifting gears into a much more broader initiative than they first started out with. And to me, what impressed me about Al and Carmen was not only their sincerity and nobility of their generosity, was their determination to want to do philanthropy in a way that was, quote, the right way, whatever that means. But the wonderful thing about philanthropy, there's no one way, there's no magic bullet. What it takes is determination, it takes creativity, it takes a way of reaching out to find out where the ideas are out there, instead of thinking you have all the ideas and answers to what philanthropy should be about.
I'm Susie Cashin, and I represent the Cashin Cultural Legacy and Los Lupeños de San Jose.
And can you say briefly what your relationship is to the Castellanos?
I consider myself a friend. I consider myself the teacher of Maria and Carmela when they were young dance people. I'm a great fan of Armando's music. And I love Carmen and Al to death.
My name is Sam Liccardo. I'm a city council member in the city of San Jose. I represent the downtown district of San Jose, of course, which is very much at the core of much of the great work that Castellano Foundation has been doing for many years. My relationship with the Castellanos is simple. I'm a cheerleader. I'm just a very grateful council member who recognizes the great contributions the community has benefited from so much over the years.
George Rivera, Triton Museum of Art.
Great. So why don't we jump in with briefly what your relationship is to the Castellanos in the past and how it's going to be shaping in the future.
Looking back on Al, I guess this would be where our story begins. You and I, we go back, I would say it was the late 70s, perhaps early 80s, and you were involved very, very strong with the GI Forum. I was involved in another smaller arts group in San Jose, the San Jose Art League, and we had a common community leader in Professor John DeVincenzi, who brought us together thinking that perhaps we could help each other. And that meeting led to a long-time relationship that we've shared, always able to call upon one another and help. It was back then that I realized that you and your family were very involved in our community in so many different ways. And perhaps back in those times, you might have sensed a bit more freedom and an openness to be able to help whichever groups you wanted to, because it meant something close to you and Carmen's heart.